Jake Paul?
Oh, Gervonta.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down.
Gervonta,
I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
is there a height limit in boxing?
The thing with, like, okay, the fans, like, they don't, it's not really fans for, I mean, it's not fans that really understand the sport.
It's casual
You know what I'm
fans.
saying? Yeah, like, they don't really understand the sport. They just, okay, I like this person, so I'm gonna go against this fighter. Or I'm gonna go against every other fighter but this fighter right here. That's what, you know? But if you just go look at nigga that fights, bro, you could tell, like, it's not even though it's a waste. Till y'all prove yourself to, you feel me? That's what, to me, till niggas start proving that stuff, like, all right, bet, he's a threat, then, all right, cool, I'll fight him.
The second Jake Paul Gervonta Davis whispers turned into headlines. You felt the sport fold in on itself. It's the kind of matchup that makes purists groan and casual fans lean forward a cruiserweight YouTuber calling out a lightweight destroyer. Almost 90 pounds apart at their natural weights, the notion borders on absurd. And yet, here it is, a collision sold not on merit, but on spectacle. Michael Bisping cut straight to the heart of it. He branded Paul a joker and a bully, blasting him for chasing smaller opponents instead of proving himself against true threats.
A dangerous fight for Jake. Gervonta's technical expertise, his speed, his precision, the fact that he's a counter striker are dangerous facts that make me think that Jake's really got to lock in for this one. On the contrary, if Gervonta feels a couple big Jake Paul shots, it's going to be detrimental.
I think this is going to be one of those ones that gets a real good racial split. I think it's going to be some real black versus white shit.
Telling so much about him fighting someone, fight somebody your size. His next opponent is by far the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me. And if that...
It's kind of weird, because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank. And I mean, but with it being exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name.
His words sting with truth. If this weren't in a ring, but in a bar, nobody would see it as a fair fight. Daniel Cormier stripped it down even further. He fights at 135 pounds, he said of Tank. Size matters, weight matters. That should have been the end of the conversation, and yet it wasn't. Shakur Stevenson called it terrible.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds.
Official weight, 227.2 pounds.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage, which is absolutely ridiculous. Claiming to want to fight the best people on the planet and then going out there and taking on a guy that is maybe 92 pounds heavier, that is at least 65 pounds heavier than you. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
He beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean...
It's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
That he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's going to be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's going to probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
Arguing Tank doesn't need Jake for validation, but even he conceded Paul has made real strides. And that's the strange paradox. Paul has improved, but the leap from ex-MMA names to a 3-division world champion is a canyon too wide to cross.
You're not going to watch Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis when that happens?
No, isn't that stupid? I mean,
Jake Paul is twice the size. I mean, how do you make a match?
He is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Go up against someone that keeps you up at night, against someone that gets you out of bed in the morning to go for a run because the fear of them beating you down is real. Not going up against someone that is so small. If you were to go up to this guy in a bar and try and start a fight with them, people would look at you and say one word: whoa, 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 stop being such a bully. Leave him alone. You are way bigger than this guy. And that's clear.
Gervonta Davis actually beats him as well. He's one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world at lightweight. But it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's like you got a guy of 5'5" boxing a guy of 6 foot plus. Cruiserweight, yeah, it's just all a little bit odd. I feel if they're going to do an exhibition, perhaps Jake should have picked someone more his size. Look, his last fight against Julio Chavez Jr. Was at cruiserweight. Chavez Jr. was a former world champion at middleweight himself, and that sort of made sense. And it was a good win for Jake Paul. You know, he come out there and he beats an ex-world champion. He gets a little bit of credibility, and you go, right, now you're heading in the right direction.
Jeff Mayweather spelled it out. Paul fights at over 200 pounds. Tank maybe walks around at 147. Unless it's an exhibition, it makes no sense. Even Logan Paul urged caution, warning his brother of Tank's precision and counterpunching. Bob Arum dismissed the whole idea with a laugh. Isn't that stupid? Jake Paul is twice the size. The establishment, for once, stands united. But money whispers louder than tradition. Anthony Durrell reminded everyone that boxing doesn't love its fighters back if there's a payday. Take it.
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna be.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think.
He's just too small.
I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight.
A boxer that's 6'1", that's only had one loss on the record, of course, Tommy Fury, doesn't want to face him again. Picking on a guy that small would be laughable. It would be embarrassing, okay? It's straight up bully boy.
Can't put someone who's they're 65 pounds apart in weight for the most part now. If you look at the cruiserweight limit and the lightweight limit, even if Jake Paul somehow got down to, let's just say 180, and I'm not sure that he'd be able to do that at this point because he's fought so high in weight. Let's just say he got down to 180. They're still 45 pounds apart in weight, and that's just not safe. So if this were to be treated as some sort of, even though they're calling it an exhibition, a legitimate athletic event, I don't know how you could do that because it's just not safe for someone that big and someone that small to fight each other. That's why they have
to see that announcement, given that we thought we should have had the fight for him next, but that's the business of boxing, man. Stuff like that takes place, and you got to see what you're going to do going forward with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's unusual, you know what I'm saying, because we had an agreement. So we'll see how that plays out.
Sean Porter went further, suggesting a separate influencer belt to stop dragging elite champions into these circus acts. And still, spectacle sells. Nate Diaz shrugged, calling it a great fight for entertainment. KSI waved it off. No one cares. But deep down, you know they're wrong. People will care, because controversy and celebrity always draw eyes. At its core, this is the clash of two worlds. Jake Paul thrives in chaos, selling hype and bending rules. Gervonta Davis lives in discipline, built on years of craft and sacrifice.
One job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I have an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of pride.
Versus Gervonta Davis.
Oh, I don't care. I don't think anyone cares, man. No one cares. No one cares.
In their career, and and it's a lot. So, you know, when they get back, they get news like that, you know what I'm saying, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next for us.
Man, a lot of people upset, real hardcore boxing fans. But you know what about boxing? I like, when it's all said and done and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. Yeah. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. And that's the problem with this sport. It's like, what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, man.
Comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and, you know, all those sorts of things. But there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore. But it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from.
Chael Sonnen framed it perfectly. Tank's role would be to remind everyone what real boxing looks like. So you're left with the uneasy question. Is this the next step in boxing's messy evolution, or just another hollow sideshow? Either way, the conversation has already split the sport in two, and that, in itself, means the fight, real or not, has already won.